Go live in my life. Setting up meeting, but I better start talking anyway because it could already be live. I'm not sure about how okay. Streaming is now live on YouTube. Hi, everybody out in YouTube land. What's good tonight? What's good tonight? Hey, let me figure out how to watch this. Here we go. So I can see the chat and see if anybody's around tonight. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know how to do the notifications yet, or even bothered really trying too hard. Hi, Deanie. Hi, Hooli. Hi, Silver Fox. Hi, JK Pioneer. Good to see you guys. Okay. Now let me see if I go here. There. It's kind of tricky getting it. Oh, I messed it up again. Uh-oh. I would say it is tricky because I can't figure out how to do it. Oh, there. Okay. Now, it's because I have two different browsers going and to the Zoom meeting. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna put the link in the chat and see if somebody wants to come on with me. Because all of a sudden I'm forgetting what my plan was, what I was going to talk about. Somebody help. Come on with me and save me. Uh-oh, I'm frozen. This is where things could be wrong. Hi, Alan K. I just saw your name. Peace. Hi, Meat Man. Hi, K-Pro. K-Pro says, I have kids, and more kids here. So, or I would, right? Right. And plus you have, this is just a fun, this can be just a fun night for you to play without having responsibilities of stuff. Although I see I gave you a wrench. You want me to take it away so you don't have to be responsible. I just cracked a beer. I'm having this. This near beer, I would call it tonight. Hi, Nomadic Madman. Good to see ya. How's it going? Are you out being a nomad somewhere? Yes, love being in the chat room. Yep. Great. Hi, Lucky Digger. Come on, you want to join me? Who is here? She's the lead wrench. In Hooli we trust, man. Hooli, talk. Okay, there we go. Talk about Hooli extraordinaire, and her reasonable her reasoning skills to figure out the Jack video call in. So if we know he called in twice, we have at least two, Ooh, that was maybe we should do that. Maybe we should listen more or listen again to what Jack is telling us when he's talking about that confirmation thing, because what he basically was saying, if you guys, somebody, let's talk this out. Somebody jump on with me. And figure out how he, the way he is presenting his confirmation bias argument, or presenting that information and wanted to talk about it. He's saying that there are confirmers. There is something that is a confirmer, and more of a, and not the same kind of confirmers that we all think we've found already, like it has to be something that's like undeniable confirmers. And what is the difference? I mean, so it has to be something, although he said there's no, so how can that be? How can you have so many people finding their own version of confirmers in the book, and all of thousands of us wrong, and then there's that one guy who also feels like he found the confirmers in the book, but he was absolutely right, so it just says that there has to be really truly an unlock, there has to be, I don't know, what do you think? Okay, let's see. I haven't been, those were some good call-ins. Yes, they were. Nomadic Madman. And I am glad Toby babbled out his email. That was great. Yeah. Been giving up people's personal information since 2017. Oh, funny. Time will tell. Thumbs up, buttercups. Princess Susie's life. Indeed. About 10 years ago, I rented Cloud Atlas, but never finished the movie. Yesterday, I found it used for $5. Watched it 2 hours last night and just finished it tonight. And very powerful movie, he says. Geonut, am I blocked here too? No. I don't. Unless Hooli says so. I see you. Okay, Larry. Hi, how are you tonight? Hi, David. I can't say your last name. I want to try, but Hooli says, intent of Forrest and evidence. Yes, yes. Hooli. It was well done and pretty moving. Makes you think about what impact we have on others and life. Right? That's easy to forget about or not think about, the impact. Ba, 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 ba. Silver, Toby said that I thought. Silver Fox, Jack did say Forrest likely did not mention any specific places that were part of the solution. Let me read that again. Oh, I don't know if I can do it without. There we go. Jack did say Forrest likely did not mention any specific places that were a part of the solution. Oh, I see. So when he calls the Buffalo and Buffalo Cowboys Cody. Um, he's not meaning Buffalo Bill Cody, Wyoming. The Cowboys say, oh, here, I'll shut my. So you guys don't have to hear anything like that. NASA just sent me an email. Again, distractions, easy. Hi, Homer Brown. How's it going? Pies, I know. What am I here for? What am I doing here tonight? I think I need to take a big slam of beer and get my I feel like laughing tonight. Oh, maybe I should come up, maybe I should find my slam this beer and find a sense of humor. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see my name. King Casher Jim King. A lot of words for me to say. Good evening, my lady. Good evening, my king. Curtsy. Or I'll try not to look you in the eye. Yeah, give me some fodder for humor, you guys. I think it is showing it's still snowing in Wyoming. Ha, maybe. Or a hint to a hint. I doubt it. I doubt it was a direct answer to a clue, though. I know, but don't all these hints and hints add up sooner or later? You know, okay, there we can go. We can talk about the big, again, I am caught my eye, corner of my eye, this little painting that I did of the, and I was putting it on this, like I made a background look like the page of the book on board, you know, and then I made this little watercolor of the, is it going the right way? Yeah. From the Golden War chapter. It's not very good. It's like kindergarten art. And I was going to make little corner things like the, like that you put in a photo book, you know, like those little corner edges to hold it on to this canvas. I was going to put it on like a photo. Cute. Just, I needed to do quick art and get instant gratification, you know, like I needed a kindergarten art project, just quick. Because I feel like a more complex painting coming on, but it has to, I can't make it happen. I can't make it happen. It needs to, they manifest. Art manifests. It doesn't, I can't go do it, you know? Anyway, because my attention span, I'm a flea. Like you just saw me. What am I doing? Showing you, oh, because, well, that is chase related, kind of, you know, whatever. But let's talk about big picture. More than once did Forrest say to us about the big picture. And that is something that Jack has also said too, something about the big picture. Without further ado, here's the king. Are you coming on? You gonna come on and grace the peasants? I am the princess. Ask April. Okay, Alan K. The big picture, go back to big picture thinking. And okay, let's play that. The big picture thinking game. The big picture, when you look and when I think of the book and I think of the big picture, I think of the page, the one right here with the kids, this, because it's a big picture, you know. And to say that it's about our future, and you know, kids are our future, right? And how kids were brought up in the classroom, and how, you know, maybe the big picture is this whole, his father leading by example, meaning every year he took his family into Yellowstone Park and spent 3 months there, and he got a better education during those 3 months in being a fishing guide and learning the wilderness, and learning hard lessons like pine needle tea tastes like kerosene. And you better take more than a Baby Ruth bar and a fishing pole or whatever they took. So always the big picture Forrest has told us, you know, in this book, is the lessons are to be learned outside. The real life lessons to be learned are outside of the classroom. You know, so that is one of the big picture items. Also, if you could think of look at the big picture, is this the cover of the book, The Big Picture? And yellow stones turn into gold coins. Gold coins started out as a yellow stone, you know, if you look at it that way. Silver Fox says he spent, hi, MJ Inzer, happy Friday. Silver Fox says he spent a few minutes at the waterfall in Vietnam, yet he said it affected him forever. That place doesn't have to be somewhere he went frequently. Good point, Silver Fox. It just all of a sudden made me think, flash in my mind of how Forrest, I think it was, I don't know if it was a scrapbook or if I heard it in an interview, where he told the story about that they learned they stashed items from one year to the next in the park or in the woods or in the, you know, when they, to come back to the next year, so they would, their stuff would still be there. And so they, you know, he told that story too about stash and stuff and coming back to get it later. And so was it a place that they found, you know, stash and stuff from the cabins? But anyway, that Silver Fox made me think of that. And you know, it wouldn't be a place that he went to frequently, you know, just something like that. Good point. Okay, I think not. Nobody wants that. The big picture is the map in Too Far to Walk. Now find the spot where the, I don't know what that word is, hidden. It's on the map. Well, yeah. The most curious spot is on that. Okay, you want to talk about that for a minute, you guys? Okay, let me get it out, because I do like to go on about one of you brilliant searchers. I think it was Mary Green. I'm sorry if it wasn't. Somebody pointed out to me years ago then on this map, one of my favorite things, and you guys are all going to know exactly what I'm talking about already before I even show you, you're going to go, oh, eye roll, Susie, quit showing us that. Okay, focus. Here in Wyoming, right here's Cody, Wyoming. Oh, whoops, I'm sucking at this. There's a circle. Can you see it? Oh. Okay, trust me. That was not good. This book is heavy. Holy crap, it's heavy. I can't hold it up with my weak. Oh, wuss. Okay, anyway, on that map, just 25 miles north of Cody, Wyoming, is a little that marks a town on a map. Little circles mark a town on Forrest map, and there's a circle without a name. There's just a circle, and like the town name was omitted. And oh, there's Lucky Digger. Okay, wait, hang on. Stay. Okay, admit. Okay, Lucky Digger's gonna join us. Hi, Lucky. How's it going? I see you're connected to audio.
Hey.
Thanks for jumping in.
How's it going with you?
Fine. Talking about the map and that whole thing. But my point of it being just north of that dot on the Too Far to Walk map that represents a town without a name. And that name could be, it looks like it's on Heart Mountain, where the Japanese internment camp once was from World War II.
Okay.
I don't know if you know, do you know that?
I've heard that, yeah.
On the Too Far to Walk map, that there's a circle, but I don't know. I mean, there's also a town there too. I can't remember it right off the top of my head, the name of the town, and it's not on the map. So, but so when Forrest, do you have that book? Do you have the Too Far to Walk book?
Yes.
Or not?
Yes, I have it.
Okay. So when Forrest said that his treasure could be found somewhere on that map, right? He said that like in the interview on it was the Too Far to Walk book launch interview. And he said that somewhere on that map, the treasure could be found. And so do you think that means that there's actually a name or a mark right on the map where the treasure would have been? Or, or do you think that he just meant, or, do you think there are any clues or hints or nudges or kind of making himself humor himself when that map was being developed?
I think everything's a clue. Everything to me. I think the name of the map is a clue. I think, it's just everything connects somewhere. He said he wasn't going to put an X on the map though, so it probably doesn't have a mark like that.
And that's where, and that's when, do you remember those rabbit holes too? When you can, if you, because that, it says right on the back of the map, it says that he wouldn't put an X on the map, right? Oh, that one was, I think it shines through and it's in New Mexico when that X, you can see it. It's right here. Oh, it's on the poem. It's in the poem. It lands, go in peace. If you hold it up to the light.
Yeah, I was never a person.
You were never conspiracy to the light. Talk about everything a clue. There isn't many ways I haven't.
Yeah, I didn't cut my string or anything like that.
I didn't cut the string, but I did look at the light. I think somebody else told me that too, because you can see, if you're looking at the map through the book, then it's like, but Obviously, it's nothing. Just something more fun to have.
Yeah, MJ says Cheyenne has an X, but isn't that the capital of Wyoming? I think the capitals have X's on them.
Well, that's still, I mean, that's good. Which that is, Cheyenne is, if that does have an X, that's a good.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that map or like like a street.
Oh, like a real, right.
Like a regular map. So when he referred to a good map, I don't think he was referring to that map.
I don't think so either. No, I think what kind of map, or what map do you think he was referring to? What's your theory?
Maybe a road map, or maybe a map of Yellowstone. Who knows?
I think it has to be like that, a Forest Service map, that the same, because the only map that he talks about in the book is the map of the Gallatin National Forest, so I think it's like one of those grid national forest maps where it's one of those grids,
Mm-hmm. That's Montana, right?
That is, but I'm not saying that map, but a national forest map in Wyoming, the type of map, I think might be the hint there,
That's a good idea. I was never a yellow or Wyoming searcher, so I don't know anything about Wyoming really.
Right, but it's more about a national park map or a national forest map, than it is the actual. But you really, to this day, you don't think it, what's your theory? What's that you still think it was in Montana and they just said it was Wyoming for whatever reason?
I don't know. I think, like Jack said, you have to find the patterns, and there's lots of repetitive things going on in the books, about mom and lots of airplane crashing going on. So to me, that's somehow significant. I mean, even you were talking last night about the washing machine helicopter thing.
Yeah.
So that pretty much crashed as well. So
yeah.
I mean,
I found not a million, but a lot of confirmers for Montana. Otherwise I would have never, every time I tried to talk myself out of it, I would look at the book again and go, no, there it is. There it is. And there's another one. And there's another one. And there's another one.
Yeah. So even like when I used to watch Davio, he talked about a lot of things that seemed to have reference to. It was kind of hard to connect his dots though. But I mean, I think he was pretty much on the right track. If he could have made it all fit together, it would have worked out.
Right. With all those pieces that some of them have to be, at least some of them, maybe they're not all it or all right or all, but at least something from that whole thing has to, don't you think? I don't know.
Yeah, because he talked about
it's like, when is coincidence coincidence and when is it confirmation, or when.
Mm-hmm. He had a lot of baseball references, and I thought that was pretty interesting. The Babe Ruth candy bars and different things. Of course, all of those weren't really. That wasn't in the TTOTC, right? That was a scrapbook, wasn't it?
What?
The candy bar references. Or was it? Oh, no,
there's candy bars. There's candy bars, and Looking for Lewis and Clark chapter, he said they took 2 Babe Ruths.
Okay.
That's in TTOTC. And it's also in, I think there is scrapbook more about it. King Catcher, King. I'm just gonna call you King because you have too many words. Lucky Digger. That's who's on with me. I asked, who is this voice? Who is this other voice? Because when they're looking at it on YouTube, I think they just see me, and then you have. I think you're. I don't know. I can try to at least pin. Let's see. I think there's a way.
They're not going to see me anyway. They're just going to see a picture.
Right. They'll just see your thing. But if I do this, then what happens? Okay. And then if I do view.
I think Huli should come on and talk about how she searched for that video.
She told us last night that it was easy. Like she didn't like sit there and she just figured out the it was like the night before. I don't know. I can't remember how she said it, but still, yeah, that's fun to talk about.
I know he put up
what he was trying to tell us. What's more interesting is why was he so compelled to come on and tell us, about that.
Well, Toby had on confirmation bias, and his video was on cognitive bias, which is, I guess, basically the same thing, but he put his video up the night before he was on Toby's show. So, and that was June the 27th or 28th, 2019. So that was pretty far back. That was before February.
Right? I was still trying to figure out if I could get that picture, your avatar to at least come up on the screen instead.
I think you changed the view, huh?
Yeah, but I tried and I pinned you and then changed the view and it didn't work. And I'm trying to see and there's a lag, so I don't know if it worked or not.
Well, it looks like when I talk, it comes up my name.
I know, but I don't know what they're seeing on YouTube is what I'm saying. I only can see the meeting view. And then when
they're just seeing my name when I talk. I can see both.
Fine, do you guys care?
No, they want to see you anyway. This is your show.
Okay. I'm trying to read. If you let me join, please post the link.
Yeah, post the link.
Okay. Yay, Huli. I got one already loaded. Paste. KK Pro, you're gonna have to. If Huli comes in, who else is in charge of the? Everyone just behave. It's fine. Who cares? Famous last words. Oh, be careful. What I wish for here. I'm trying to read the chat here.
See how I'm connected.
The big picture is making Yellowstone the first national park. Says David Bradshaw. Hi, David Bradshaw. Nice to see you. It could be. I think it says that in the poem. I think that's the last line of the poem. It says Yellowstone. In my translation of it, that would be kind of a fun. Not prepared. Never mind.
Okay.
Thinking out loud.
Huli's waiting in the lobby.
I don't see her waiting. I don't. Huli. I don't know how to get into the waiting room because last time. Oh, Huli's in admit. There, got it. Oh, look at how cute Huli is.
Hi, lady. Happy Friday.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Huli.
Great. Thanks for having me, Susie. Lucky, good to hear you.
So, good job on finding that info. Finding Jack
Thank you.
live phone calls. I mean, what? That's impressive.
Yeah, that was sort of crazy.
Wasn't it exciting when you found that? I mean, it's like,
I know you stirred up a hornet's nest though. Now everyone's
uh-huh.
on edge about it.
Well, I don't think there's anything to be on edge. I do hope Jack gets to keep his privacy, so to speak. Because I don't think going down that personal rabbit hole is wise or good for anyone.
Right. No.
But I think
No,
it
but
totally validates that he was like in the chase and involved for a good long while, which is sort of cool.
yeah, but there's people now that are still hanging on to hope that it's them, and it's kind of like fading.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So, but it's got to fade eventually. I mean, you know, you can't do this forever. Although it would be
Was that Jack video on when was that he was on Toby's show? Was 2019?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was 2019. X marks the spot.
June 28th, I believe it was. I went back and looked at it again. I found it myself, and then I was able to. There was actually Heather Dawn was calling in also, and that was really interesting.
On that same show?
I don't know if it was the same show, but it was around that. Yeah. So.
To your point, Lucky, I think it's important to listen to the whole show to sort of get a flavor of what was going on, or what the conversation was.
Yeah, I listened to him twice. It's kind of hard to, it's kind of broken up like, but I listened to maybe the before and after too, because that was all about confirmation bias, that show.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like the talk of the community at the time. Like, I think the characters, other people in the community that was our subject, and so that was the current buzz. And so I remember, do you guys remember watching that show?
I do.
I don't
I
remember
do.
that particular show. I just miss those shows in general, the
Yeah,
Search to the Search and the
they were so much fun. I had
Friday
so
Fandangos. Yeah, I mean,
much.
I'm sure Toby got tired of listening to all the call-ins, but it was pretty interesting, I thought.
Well, and even the earlier show when he first started doing it, even before I mean, it was a different to watch it all evolve. It was really fun, from how it started, how it was just videos, and then it was YouTube allowed. It's when the YouTube first started allowing live video, and he was like, okay, let's try it. And then after that, it was just like, this is blast.
Yeah, that was when he lived in his apartment, right?
What's that?
He had the apartment when he started going live.
Yeah.
House.
Yeah.
Just a while back. But I really missed the Saturday night shows, where it was just him by himself, and he could pretty much
the later
about whatever he wanted to talk about then.
Right. Right.
Without getting punched under the table.
Yep. Shelly reeled him in a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
and during that time frame, Toby was they were doing 2 shows a day.
Mhm.
One of those shows was an afternoon show, like driving or something. But they had so much content, but Toby made it really easy to find because Jack posted his video on June 27th, and then the next day Toby did a show on confirmation bias. And so,
Ooh,
and
that-
I actually posted, the funny part is I had this epiphany during the Capro show the other evening, and I posted, search near the date that Jack posted the his confirmation bias video. If Toby canceled him, then when was that? And I was like, it'll be interesting to see what Toby and Shelley were up to. And I just erroneously bumped into him calling in. I was like, that's crazy. And I feel
Yeah,
like, go ahead.
I think finding the email, that was lucky. I never did
or him
that one
of
out.
Toby blabbing his email.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good though.
For us.
Well, and the cool part is he said, well, you just emailed us a couple days ago. So I was like, okay, so now I have to look back a couple days, which weren't that many shows. And it was
Right.
right
And
there,
so
like the day before or 2 days before or something.
hmm I wonder if he called in other times and talked about.
It's pretty clear there's quite a few pieces of evidence that he was around.
There's other people I noticed that have that similar voice too. I think 3D Bronze is one of them. They're all like in that general age group, and they kind of sound familiar or the same. So it's kind of hard because you think you're, oh, maybe this is him, and it ends up being someone else.
So it's interesting. Kpro put in here the earliest find so far is October of 2018, and we've got information up to June of 2019. So that's sort of the window. Apparently, there are other people doing work to find.
Oh, so they found him October
Oh.
2018.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Toby starting to read his email is he's had that email for quite some time. So
It's probably not a clue or some kind of secret message or.
Well, right. It's not right. I don't think it's anything secret like that he hid something for us after the chase.
Mhm.
Right. But isn't it
possible?
what I think is another interesting thing when you add it in to the Forrest Fenn community is that he also searched for the David Blaine treasure, which we all know Sassy was the finder of that treasure. And so she was running in that circle with Jack when Jack was looking for that. You know, I don't know if it wasn't videos at that time. I don't think for that treasure hunt. That's before, but I think there were blogs and online, obviously there was, because she said she posted her solution online and people went out and found that Blaine treasure. But Jack was a part of that whole treasure hunt too, and so that speaks to that, either you have it or you don't, you are that person, you have that treasure hunter in you or that curiosity. And so I don't know what was I going with, where I was going with that, but anyway, it just made me think of okay, so then Sherry ends up on or Sassy ends up on Toby's show
Mhm.
as well. And I wonder if Jack and if those two ever communicated prior or during or anytime.
I think Candy and I were looking into that the other night.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, and we didn't really find anything as far as that goes. But he was
It's
also
just one of those, I wonder.
he was also interested in a television show that aired in like 2003, I think it was, called Push Nevada. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It was a television show that had 10 episodes, and each episode involved some kind of hint or a clue to $1 million prize. And if you could put all the clues together, you take one letter from each of the clue words and form another word. And then at the end of the series, you would they had flashed something during the Super Bowl, I think, and it gave you another clue.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
The
yeah,
first,
yeah, yeah.
first person to call in was the winner of the, it was like 1,042,000 or something. And it was solved in
Oh, oh my God. The thrill of the chase. I just clicked on my other computer and that one person who should not be named, a video of her just started playing. Ah,
turn it off. Turn it off.
that's like scary and horrifying.
But anyway, yeah, that show that was solved in like 2 minutes after the final episode. So, but he was interested in that. He must have been like early 20s around that time, or maybe even younger.
I have a question in the chat, and that's what I was switching computers to search, and somehow things went wrong. That was startling and funny. Okay. K-Pro, Susie Hooley, how do we know that Jack was on the David Blaine hunt? Okay, you know how I know? Because it's in that outside article by
Was it an outside article?
Barbarisi.
Okay, I thought it was a Medium.
I'm trying to look for it in my I have a shortcut to
Alan Case, an outside magazine article.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to get the link to it, but I'm not clever enough to manage all that. I have 2 mice, 2 different computers, 2 different operating systems, even. It's like 3 keyboards. No, 2 keyboards that I can see. One is folded away, but still, I mean, it's way too much going on here. Oh God. Yes, it's true, K-Pro. That's what it says. That's what you know, it says something like it's when Dan, isn't that his name? Dan Barbarisi or whatever that guy's
I
name
think so.
is that wrote that book. Yeah, that or is writing the book, whatever. He said, I worked on getting to I worked with him for like 3 months before I got to know his name and something like that. And then he, talked about, him, talked about Jack as being Jack as far as, his background. And he said, Jack was no stranger to treasure hunt, something like Jack was no stranger to treasure hunting. He participated in the Blaine hunt, whatever the official name for that one is. I can't remember what it was called, but whatever. And so it says it right in that article. And so it was it's reputable. It's not like it's the guy that wrote the book, the Dan guy.
Right. So I think too, when you what I've noticed is a lot of people that are doing these treasure hunts now, the more that you do them and the more that you search for clues or you work on things, it kind of hones those kind of certain skills that you need to find things. So if perhaps he was doing it as a teen or whatever, that it kind of like helped him, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Or it's just that whole there's a treasure out there to be found, and somebody else you gotta do is figure something out, or work at there.
Yeah, well, look at Bobby D. Bobby D's giving classes now because he's found so many things. He's worked on so many.
Bobby D is ridiculous. I mean, like he's like.
But once you start getting into things like that and you start doing it over and over and over, it becomes repetition, and you know what to look for and you know what to eliminate, and you kind of know what how it feels to be on the right track. That may have been part of what helped him to know what cognitive biases were and things like that.
Yeah.
If you read on that too.
It gives me a warm fuzzy a little bit knowing that Jack truly is a treasure hunter, one of us. He is not like this random guy who just swooped in after a week or whatever, 3 weeks of the, like, he really is, like, so it's not like he's not that, he's one of us is what I'm trying
Right.
to say. It makes him more relatable, makes him more,
Yeah, you
Oh.
should have get Sassy on. Maybe she could relate a little bit more to the thought process and how
yeah,
it
I
connects.
wonder if she would, or I don't know, is she is still around, or is she like over this, or she, I don't know.
She might come, I'm sure she would come on and talk about it.
I've seen her around not long ago, so I don't think she's completely removed from the chase or treasure hunting.
She still
I
follows
thought,
Toby and Shelly, so
well, I think she was on a Capro show actually just last evening, saying that she was working on one of the history something.
oh, Hunt for History.
Hunt
Yeah.
for history, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. I actually won that with from Mike and K-Pro, so hopefully I'll get it soon, and then I'm gonna get if
Oh,
if
that's
she,
right. Yay.
yeah, if she wants to, we're gonna go team up and I'll have her do the boots on the ground part.
Okay, here's Alan Kay. He was on it. He knew about it and he's already got it pasted. It was, here's the quote. The treasure hunt immediately brought him back to his youth when he was obsessed with the 2002 TV series called Push Nevada, which allowed viewers to try to solve the real life mystery. Okay, so Jack worked on that too. And then it says Stoof also got caught up in a book by magician David Blaine, Mysterious Stranger, which combined autobiography with a treasure hunt and offered $100,000 prize. So this is little clips he took that Alan copied and pasted from that article. So thank you, Alan, for sharing that. And so yeah, that does confirm. I knew I read that.
Right, and a lot of people think he came out of left field, out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know, but this just proves he didn't. He was,
It was legit,
yeah, he's
And,
legit treasure hunter. He wasn't picked because he was an onion writer. He wasn't picked because he was somebody's friend, or it just makes him more legit as this whole thing being, less holes you can blow in the theory of the treasure
right.
hunt.
Mm-hmm. Just a lot of people have, searchers are from all walks of life, all backgrounds. And he just happens to be that particular person, and you can't really fault him for things he did when he was young. I mean, we all do silly, stupid things, and
Yeah,
lots of things you're not proud of. People change.
yeah. You
And
didn't have to
so,
do it when you're young either. I mean,
I think for a lot of people, though, it wasn't just the money issue. It was I want to be the one, the one that is able to crack it, right? So,
yeah, that's every one of us wants that,
yeah. So, I mean, when
it's
I got,
because it's an incredible feeling. It's this, it's this, ooh.
when I started searching, it was like, what? This hasn't been solved yet?
I know. And I know. I did too.
It was just the travel expense was the biggest part for me.
Hey,
Oh
Susie.
yeah.
Susie.
What's that?
David Paisano asks a good question. He said, so
Okay.
what does finding these quotes have to do with solving the treasure?
Well, it doesn't, what it has to do with is that it makes Jack, the whole, he was a part of that David Blaine treasure hunt. He was, it makes him legit. And so and I don't know what he learned by working on those other treasure hunts as a young, being younger and working, and what that brought him, obviously, he found it, so whatever. But it makes it more, I think it just makes him more legit as a real searcher, and not hand-picked person outside of the community that Forrest picked, or, you know, any conspiracy. It lends itself, the more we find out about him and that he was a part of that, it kind of just lends itself to more him being a
Kind of starts to
real.
put to rest the theory that you know, it was pulled, or someone was sent to pull it, or, you know, that kind of thing, or that, you know, he doesn't have to be someone that was known by anyone, really. I mean,
Right.
none of
Right,
us were
but
known by anyone.
right. But, you know, yeah, and he doesn't have to be known in the David Blaine hunt either. It's just saying that we know that by, you know, that information coming out, or sharing that information with that writer, or, you know,
Mhm.
publicly, that he did not just decide to, unless that's all a lie,
Well,
you know, if
I
they're
think
making up
I think a
mistakes.
lot of people think, oh, well, if somebody who wasn't a YouTuber, or somebody who, and I'm not sure
Oh, no.
why they get so much credit for
Right.
super, you know, super searchers or whatever, but it's
No,
because obviously, no,
because obviously, I
no
mean,
offense against Toby, but I think a lot of things he talked about were like wrong.
oh
And,
yeah, he was a platform. It's more of the YouTubers are just a platform, more of a platform, and it's more about the YouTubers' own personality and the person watching it, you know, who they can stand, like, you know, who they can most relate to is who the ones they gravitate towards, you know, and there's
right.
all different personality, and, you know, and it's like if I
So
ran
really, if you only
across
needed the poem and, you know, the clues in the poem and the hints in the book is all you really needed.
right, but people, it's so
Other stuff
exciting
was
because
just
it's
like,
such a, you know, to the what the YouTube videos brought to the game is you couldn't talk about it with anybody, but you could listen to somebody else talk about it, because, you know, you didn't want to talk about your secrets that you were finding, or what you were learning, or what you know, in the chase. You didn't want to share your information, but to listen to somebody else talk on YouTube about it, it was like, ooh, you know, and you're still listening. I
well,
was
I
listening
think the reason people
looking for,
listened was because they want to make sure people weren't going to their plate. There's
or looking for confirmers, right? That either
they're
they
like,
weren't
oh,
going to their place,
who's
or
getting close to
confirming,
mine?
yeah, or oh my god, I can't believe I didn't think, or, you know, they're looking for that inspiration of like, oh, that's one more thing that adds to my pile of confirmation. Somebody that just said something else about, you know, whatever they're talking about on YouTube. It was just another way. Listening to other YouTubers was just a way to spark your own imagination, is
Yeah, a
what
lot
I
of it.
did.
Yeah, it was all white noise though, because you had to. It was all just
Yeah, and that's
noise
why,
that you had to like tune out. You know, if you tune it out, then you could really think about what you're doing.
but there were so many different types of YouTubers, and or there were, nobody would really ever, it was all just like would show like a boots on the ground, and this is where we were, you know, would all just show this random, and no one ever talked about the mechanics of how they got there, you know. It was more like, that's what made me want to do videos about the mechanics of it all, like, in, you know, how to get to a boots on the ground, you know, what do you got to do first to get there, you know, like, let's
Yeah.
talk about that, figure that out. And so anytime, yeah, I would just, whatever, it doesn't matter.
But it seemed like every show, like almost every show in the chat, it was always the same thing, the same question. Where does warm waters halt? What does it mean? How many times?
Yeah, and it would be because people would come, new people would jump in at all times, you know, different, just they would discover the chase, you know, 2 days later they're like, I solved it, I'm gonna go, they jump in. I got it, you
And then they're
boneheads been
calling
doing this
people.
for years, I had my book for 2 days and I'm leaving tomorrow, or, you know, I mean, how many people did that? I mean, so,
Oh, I was one of them, I'm sure.
I
oh,
did
I
it.
see.
I did it.
So there was different classes of searchers too. You had the ones that were like, oh, I know right away. And then you had the ones that never knew, or never had to solve, or, you know, so it was kind of like a broad spectrum of people and ways of thinking.
And
So
we're all looking for that one little piece of information. We're waiting for somebody to slip or something to come up to make us go, oh, we're all looking for the light bulb, that whole
yeah.
part.
And then of course, you have to go on and watch every single thing Forrest ever said, because
100 times or more.
yes. So
I know even if that, okay, Jack said that Forrest slipped up once, or a slip up that really made him, caught on something. But if Jack would just tell us which interview, and not tell us what the slip up was, but just tell us which interview that came from, or give us a time frame. Like, I have every one of those interviews. I swear to God, I have it memorized. I have it like verbatim, all those things. And so I'm thinking, I probably could, like do a Rolodex in my mind of an interview and try to figure out what the slip up was that made him, what could it be?
He
That's
gave us-
another
he
thing.
gave
Because
us-
I watched those so many times. I'm sure you all did too. I mean,
Susie, he gave us so many parameters around which videos he thought they were in that I feel
he
like,
did?
yeah, I think we can narrow those down relatively quickly as well.
did Jack?
Yeah, Jack. And that's going back to the question that David Paisano asked is, how does knowing Jack or hearing Jack talk on AGK or hearing his texts or emails help us? I mean, the whole purpose was getting inside Forrest's head. What two things align between what Jack says and Forrest said? Getting in their mind and hearing what both of them said or how they thought, or analyzing the things that they were paying attention to, maybe. I think may help us in solving the treasure.
They both had said big picture. I mean, that makes me think of that whole look at the big picture thing. And Jack used that same thing that Forrest said too. And so it's like, what is this big picture? Is it that our language is changing? And they also both said something about the English language, like you need to really know the English language or something like that. Or so is it, and the way our language is changing and has changed, is that the big picture? Because look at our texting machines. Is that the little slip up? That the text, our words are already changed. People aren't going to be able to read The Thrill of the Chase pretty soon. They're not going to be able to read that book any longer. That is going to come in the future. And it only took the Rosetta Stone, it only took 2,000 years before we couldn't figure out what the hell that said, it doesn't take long for our not only our letters, like if you look at an old, the first dictionary, if you ever tried to read anything from ye old English, where all the S's are actually F's,
Well, it's
they're
just like
shaped like an F, so
trying to
the
read
I's are
the
J's, and
trying to
all
read
the
the
letters.
King James version of the Bible is difficult just because the way they speak. They spoke
The way they speak and the spelling and the way
1600s or
that they
whatever.
use the letters. The V, a V is a U. Instead of a U, there's a V. S's and F's are the same letter. L's are the
Mhm.
same, or, they're like all these different ways. And already that's hard for us to read. Or right now we've already lost cursive writing.
Yeah, my grandkids already don't.
They can't read it. They don't
Writing.
teach it. They don't read.
They can read it. They can write their name, but basically
But that's it.
learning.
Like,
Yeah,
they
'cause
aren't going to be able to read.
everything's a
Their
tablet now.
kids, that's going to be gone in a generation, another generation. That's going to be gone.
And that really upsets me because that's Constitution and all of the old documents.
Exactly. And so is that another big picture? And the way, Forrest was like, we need to share this information or pass this information, or how, or you know, because this really was the crowd. It seems like the searcher crowd was more skewed older than younger, right? Or
Oh yeah,
is
I
that
think
my
so too.
imagination?
I
Do
think
you
Toby
think
did a
so?
survey. I think Toby did a survey on that, and it was
Yeah,
majority over 50, wasn't it?
yeah. And so it was like more relatable to, even though Jack himself is, you know, whatever, 32 years old or whatever it is, it seemed like this was skewed to an older crowd. And so it's like, but it was like, okay, you older people, teach while you have these abilities yet, you know, show your grandkids how to write cursive, or you know, teach them something, or I don't know what the whole,
Well, that's the whole point of the book, what wasn't it? I mean, besides
yeah,
the treasure hunt was to share the olden times and the way things were and how to have fun without, you know, spending money and doing things that can't really afford to do. Just being out in nature, I think, was the main thing.
right, get out and you know, like Yellowstone National Park is our own, in our own backyard, you know, get out and see it. Hang on, everybody, I'll be right back. I roll out of the cat. The cat was out there complaining. Now it got sick of me and walked away. So never mind. Oh man.
Who says Jack was wise and figured it out, and she would cherish his words of wisdom, advice he cares to share. But a lot of people think that maybe there was some other connection, like maybe there was the same personality type, or which is kind of unusual coming from where he his background. Of course, when Forrest was younger, manners were important, and this has kind of gone by the wayside now, especially certain parts of the country. But maybe there was something else that was connecting them. Maybe they were, because Forrest, if he was looking for things on the ground at age 9 and he was studying how to find things all his life, that could have been how Jack was able to do that. Maybe Jack was doing that too. Maybe Jack was searching always for something, looking down, maybe. I don't know. A lot of look down when they walk. So
Lavender Blonde. Oh, that's a name I haven't seen in a long time. Hi, Lavender Blonde. Hi, Mary Green.
I was thinking last night that I was on
Yes.
that other
Whoops,
channel,
sorry.
and I got a little perturbed and actually unsubscribed from that because I really don't need that in my day-to-day. But I'm thinking, man, I should really start a channel on YouTube manners and how to behave in the
Good
real
luck.
world.
Nobody wants to hear about it. It's like,
Yeah, I'm like,
but
I can't get over the way people talk to each other anymore.
we're not, but that's not what happens here, because that's like, never mind. They can do what they want to do. Don't have to listen to it.
I
Don't
think,
listen.
a lot of people think that Jack he was rough around the edges when he was younger, but maybe he learned a few lessons and kind of came to an understanding.
I never got, how did you get that impression? Or, or is it because of what we know
fired from a few jobs? He maybe have gotten fired from a few jobs, or maybe he maybe
who hasn't
banished from different circles or whatever, and after a while he just got, well, I think that's why a lot of us are here, because we have no circles. We needed a circle, and this is where we ended up.
That's how I ended up here. No, in my real life, I tried to talk to people about the chase. I tried to talk to people about it, and nobody it just, nobody could catch that same fire I had. So I'm like, oh, forget it. I'm going to find my own people. Found
That's
my
it.
tribe. You guys are my tribe, man.
That's it.
Oh, Adam Fadi. Hi, nice to see you. Nomadic man, nomadic. I sometimes wonder if he forced the ending, but then again, Forrest said he found it by solving the clues. So hi, Tony Rusi. Could it have been something to do with Jack, the chest, and Fenn being in the same room? What that means. Hi, Mitch Mitch. I believe Jack. For me, the solve is more worth than the treasure. Why would Jack give out the solve for free when there is money to make? I think so too. I think that the story is so great. Is so great. I think we all think the story is so great. That's why we're all here, you know? So it logically, I understand this and know that all this takes time and all this is going to be it's going to be a process. It's not going to be something this epic and this great and this big and wonderful. Is going to take time to, you know, but in the meantime, I know this, but it doesn't make it any, that doesn't make it any less aggravating and frustrating and infuriating and torturous and all those words, you know, like the feeling of, oh, you know.
No, nomadic is trying to
feel
say
that?
nomadic is trying to say that there's it's can't be happy ending because of the deaths that were connected to it, but I just don't buy that. I think people do what they
Need to
want.
be responsible for their own,
Right.
you know. I flat out say, but then again, I don't know. Not everybody gets to decide on for themselves, but I thought if I go out looking for Forrest Fenn's treasure and I get attacked and eaten by a bear, I'm good with that. Wouldn't that be epic? She went out looking for treasure and I mean, I think it would be epic. I don't think it would be, go out.
No, I wasn't good with that, but
I was.
I didn't think you had to go to those extremes. I
I know, but it's like you don't have to go those streams. But I always wondered, I thought, okay, what if I did go and something terrible happened? How would that? And I would hope that everybody wouldn't be all blaming Forrest and all mad. I would be hoping that everyone would go.
Well, when he says
doing
don't go somewhere a 79 or 80-year-old man can't go, that's pretty limiting, really. I've worked in nursing homes and I've worked with older people, and
yeah, you don't have to
they're
go
not
anywhere
climbing
dangerous.
mountains. They're not
You
climbing
don't have to go
mountains.
anywhere dangerous.
Yeah.
You don't have to, and it doesn't lend itself to the extremes that some people went to,
Right.
um
If he gave you those little bits of advice, then I don't know why people were repelling from places.
well, because people, who was the Gabriel said that Forrest told her, like, look at this, try to respond to this email and tell this person, no, I'm telling you, it's not there. Tell them. And they're like, I know you're playing with me. I know you want to challenge me. I know you're just saying it, like no one, like they wouldn't believe when it was right in their face.
Some people were even told, oh, your solve is wrong.
Yeah, flat out said no. Forrest right in his own face said no, this isn't it. Don't go there. That's not right. And they're like, Forrest.
So
I'm not that person. I am not, I mean, I would not be. I believe, or call it gullible, call it whatever, but I believe Forrest. I believe the treasure was real. I believe Jack is real finder. I believe it's over. I believe it was in Wyoming. I am the believer chaser, or whatever you want to call me. I am that
Mhm.
one. But I can't think of a reason why not. Why not to
Huli,
do that?
Huli, what do you mean? Did Huli drop out?
She's in the chat.
Says Jack's early involvement invalidates some of the lawsuits. Well, we know those lawsuits were invalid when they were filed, so
Yeah, that's
especially when the response were, I was never there and I don't know what you're talking about. So why would you continue to just torture people like that?
yeah. It takes some kind of, I don't know, that psychology of not letting go of, I don't know.
Yeah, because some people are still torturing themselves, even though they're obviously not the finder, or they're not the person that was stated to be the finder, whether it was a finder or not.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
yeah.
the one who
Some
was
people think
awarded,
that-
so it doesn't matter if you think you're the finder. It wasn't given to you, so
yeah,
I think well, MJ says insanity, so maybe it's just the idea of the treasure, or the idea of being the one that people can't let go of.
right. But I don't know why I'm here. There's a lot of different. Yeah, right. And
But you don't have any expectations, you're here.
no, I want to know. I want to know I want to know how he did it. I want to know the real solve. I want to know the key to unlock. I want to know if that damn Buffalo Cowboy chapter really meant Cody, Wyoming. I need to know these things. I don't need to know that anything that I ever dreamt up was real or not. I want to know how and the mechanics. That's
Mhm.
why I'm here. It's something that we could still or try to figure out on our own, but it's not the same. I can't get into that same headspace. I can't get into that same headspace when I know it's not there, or it's different. It's just too, I don't know.
I don't understand is how people think if the chest isn't there, the treasure's not where it was, that they would actually be able to go there and find an impression on the ground, or or find a twig that looks like the twig it was in the box, and say, oh, this has to be where it was at. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how they're going to do scientific sampling or anything and really come up with a definitive place.
I'm looking at the chat here. Breaker19 says some people are desperate for a change in circumstance, and isn't that the dang truth? Mm-hmm. And so desperately hang on to whatever they, but Huli says, do you want to know the solve at any cost to Jack or Forrest's legacy? Not knowing the solve would be a cost to my own sanity, my own mental health. So do I put them above my own or not? I don't know how to answer that.
How do you think that Jack could resolve that or relieve people of that without giving everything away, without without going against the wishes of Forrest, or making the place someplace that people would desecrate? Or
I think that's all BS. I don't believe that part of it.
what if Forrest
never said that?
What if Forrest wanted to be there after death? And you know what I'm saying? What if it was a place he wants to be eventually, or a place he wants to be
Well,
after?
that's something I could understand,
Yeah,
Then
but he
say
doesn't want
that.
anybody to know where that is, because then people would go there and leave things, or like lots of famous people have graves and stuff, and people go there like Jim Morrison in France. I mean, look at all the graffiti and everything that they've done to his grave and stuff. Maybe he doesn't want that. He wants it to be pristine, like it's always been.
Whatever. We don't get to know that now. And you know, I mean,
But I'm
what
just
we
saying,
don't-
if he wanted to be cremated and put into a
I'm
chest,
not asking for the place. I'm asking for the solution. I'm asking for
but how does he?
how
But my question is,
about
how
this?
does
I want
he
to
give
know
us
the
the solve without giving you the place?
I want to know the mechanics. I want to know the solve. I don't, that's not my problem. I want to know how it's done. What I mean by that is I don't want him to go, it was 100 yards behind the West Yellowstone entrance sign across the border in Wyoming, 20 feet over the third pine tree. I don't need that. No, I need to know Warm Waters Halt in the book was this. It was the tea with Olga, and you took the tea and then you turn that into into the poem, or you know, I need to know how, and then lead it to that spot. The actual spot itself is way less important to me than the actual understanding the logic and the how to do it, how he did it. That's what I need.
Maybe they can't be separated, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, well, I don't care. I mean, I don't want it can too be separated because the spot can come out without the solve, you know? The exact spot could come out with so it could go one way but never the other, you know? The spot could come out without the solve, but the solve could never come out without the spot, you know? So I need to know the solve, and if that happens to out the spot, there's no other way to do it, you know?
Well, then you may never know, because he does. If he doesn't want to give the spot away, then he's not going to ever release the solve. If that's what happens with that.
But I think that that the whole solve part and the whole story of it, therein lies the value to Jack more than the treasure. Or you know, like there's more to making money off this other than just selling the chest. This story and how he did it. If this is just me, just one person being tortured with that thought or idea, think of how many else people that are out there. And you know, at what price is keeping this information, at what price to, you know, searchers opposed to a piece of land, or you know, I don't know. And I think the more people talk about, and Forrest, as far as Forrest legacy is concerned, as long as we keep talking about it, as long as that chest remains out there in somebody's owns it in somebody's hands, that story stays alive. And that, you know, and so if somebody went there and graffitied the rock wall, isn't that a way of, isn't that what they've been doing for hundreds of years? Cave writing has been happening for hundreds of thousands of years. They found cave writing. And what's the difference? What's it? Is it, you know, RIPFF written in a spray can on, is that any worse than, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying these things. I'm just talking out loud about this. And I don't
know. I'm just thinking of an analogy. I was trying to think of an analogy of what would be like that. And I'm thinking, there was only one chest, so you had one shot. So say it was on the moon and you had a chance to go to the moon. You're on Apollo 13 and you're on your way to the moon, but you don't quite make it. And you come back and you never, ever, ever get to go back. So, you know what I'm saying? You had one shot, and if you didn't get it, you might never know.
That's not the, I know, but that's not the situation we're in here. The situation we're in here is we were all in a treasure hunt where you had to solve a puzzle, a map, where you had to translate something and solve it. There's a mystery. The mystery has been solved by one person. And so everybody else that participated in this giant mystery, that's it. Does that sound reasonable? Does that sound okay? Does that sound like that's gonna happen? Does that sound like even possible? A possibility? It doesn't to me.
I guess it depends on your perspective, because probably where he's standing, it doesn't matter to him one way or the other.
But I think it does. I think that's a lie. That's like a, not a lie, but well, it's somebody else's idea of that, but it's not what I think.
Mm.
I don't think that. But then again, I can't speak for him, or nobody can. I mean, he can only speak
Yeah.
for himself. But what we're being, what's out there right now is, it's no matter what, it's not over. We're getting a new book.
Oh, I lost you.
Oh, hello. What happened? Lucky Digger, are you there? Uh-oh.
Oh, you there? Okay, there you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, there's Candy.
Oh, Lucky's on. Yep. Hey, Candy. What happened at K-Pro? Wow, what's true? To spill it. You guys got information? You doing some secret? I need to private message you after the show. Some of the videos are now on private. Ooh, what is this secrets you guys are scaring about in the background? Is it AGK videos? Is it Hooly? What have you done? Is Jack like that dang Hooly, and now is making now, and Jack saw it, and so now Jack is like, oh, quick, I have to. He thought no one would find him. I don't know. I'm making that up. I have no idea if that's what I'm trying to say. Totally making that up. How would they be on private unless Toby put them on private? That's right. Toby put them on private because Jack called him up and said, put those on private ASAP.
Oh, really?
No. I'm making no, but I can make up stories all day long. Because if we don't really get to know, then that's all that's out there. If we don't get to,
Yeah.
moisturize, says AGK. Cha-cha-ching.
Does anybody join us, or I think Hooly dropped
I don't know.
out.
Should I put the here? I'll put the.
Hey, maybe Adam will come on, ask some questions.
There. Somebody want to come on and check? Okay, wait. I gotta go back.
All right, Indy.
I'm starting to believe Jack's alias was Jack Griffin, says Kate, or says Indy. I totally agree with that. It's hard to remember on a daily basis, but I believe the universe lines everything up perfectly. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, but I love that because I do too. All things come to those who wait, but they are mostly leftovers from those who didn't wait. Dang. 2 trips, Mike. made the connection or made contact. Let's see what happens.
All right. Someone says, Forrest put his thumb up over Philadelphia. Jack was living in Philadelphia. Is that a coincidence? Well, I don't think. I think it would
I
have to
think
be.
I think that is coincidence.
Yeah, it would
That
have to
is
be. Mhm.
he was going to school in Philadelphia. I mean, it was just like a, that is, but I see my name, Lavender Blonde says, half of me agrees with you. This is torture. The other half of me knew there was a possibility of never knowing the answers. I continued on with the chase, knowing this risk. I did too. But what I didn't figure was that it would be found and we wouldn't get to know the answers. I thought it was not going to be found and we didn't get to, I just lived the rest of my life,
Not knowing the answers anyway.
Yeah, yes. But knowing what the difference is somebody did and knowing somebody, it's done, it's there. That's different. That's different than having nobody ever find it.
Yeah.
I totally got into this chase knowing that, hoping nobody found it and hoping it would go for 100 years, really,
Mhm.
or hoping I got to play YouTube land every day,
I don't
really.
think Toby and Shelly would appreciate that, though. They'd still be doing their videos.
Well, so what, that's what I got into the chase. My expectations of the chase, and my expectation of the chase too also included that, from the very first night that we found out it was found, it was like, yes, now we get to know how. Now we get to know all those. Did this really matter? Was it the
Mhm.
black feet? Or was it the, what? And so that's what was so exciting. It was like, yay. It was just as exciting as, no, it's okay. Yeah, it wasn't, I found the treasure, bummer, but it was like, somebody found it. We get to know this story now. And that's,
Moisturize wants to know the astronaut.
It feels like a ripoff.
Yeah.
Anything else feels like a total ripoff of my the closure that, of my, it feels like something's been taken away, really. And so it's to have that, what is missing is closure, and what knowing the solve will be closure.
Yeah. Moisturize wants to know who the astronaut Alan Kay mentioned last night was. I think it was Jim Lovell, which was one of the astronauts on the Apollo 13. I think that was.
And that's also a town in Wyoming. That's what he was talking about. And that's what he said he listened to Why Must I Go, did a video about his solve or something, and his was around that level. Wyoming astronaut thing. I don't know. I can't remember what he said, but something like that.
Yeah. Maybe if you took a map of Wyoming and circled all the places that were mentioned anywhere in the chase, you'd come up with a pattern.
Yeah, right. See, it's that kind of thing that I need to know. Is that how you did it?
That would make sense, wouldn't it?
The problem is we wouldn't believe Jack if he gave us the clues. I would. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. But I'm the gullible one too. I'm the gullible one that believes all this and believed it all. And, and believed we really were going to get to figure out or get to see. I still think we're going to get to see it. It's still not ended. We're just in this, Jason, and he says, where's Street? No idea. Yeah, he usually pokes his head in. but I don't know what happened on that other, I don't know what went on last night. I didn't
Adam, why don't you come in and we'll talk about that.
stay away. Stayed away. Mary, yes. I would believe, why must I go before Jack? Why? Why would you? I mean, that's so silly. No, I would not. Absolutely not. Why must I go does not have the treasure.
That's
Jack
more
does.
confirmation bias, though. That's just like, there must be another name for that. Maybe it is more than just confirmation bias. It's more cognitive bias. Because people
What,
can't
believing that Jack really has the chest?
no, believing that your solve is the right solve, even though you're not the one that has the chest.
Or believing that why must I go solve is right, even though he's not the one that has the chest.
Right,
Yeah,
but
so interesting.
there's lots and lots of people like him. They're just not making videos. So
Or the ones that are, or we know that there's a couple searchers that are convinced it was in New Mexico or still think it is, or we know one that says it's in Colorado, absolutely, and is still waiting for that knock on his door with the chest. I mean, it's an interesting mix. I guess that was a rhetorical question. I don't know what that was. There's a photo of Jack. He is the retriever. Yep. Geonut says, I bet June will produce some closure. I hope so. I hope that book is going to help. Dan Barbarisi, am I saying that right or wrong or whatever?
yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
That I won on K-Pro show. And Mike sent me an email saying that they ordered it up and having it sent to me. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I want you to go over that when you get it.
I can't wait to get that. Although I suck at reading, but when I really want to learn something, I'll force the focus because I want to know, and get to the
I'll
end.
be right back.
Okay.
Chat.
Okay, I'm gonna read it. Zozo Rocks, are you Jack? How do you know Philadelphia has nothing to do with it? Data Drifter. I don't think Zozo Rocks. Jens Escher. Hi. Okay. It may be only one video that is private, probably nothing burger. Toby would not make them private intentionally, in my opinion. Unless somebody asked him to, like Jack. Indy, nope. I don't know. Thinking I could talk to alien and conspiracy of streets around. Okay. Okay. Navy Walrus. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your constipation problem. Oh, good God. Somebody come on here, help me, for God's sakes. Uli, please come back. Okay. There we go. I forgot what we were talking about. I'm lost. Somebody asked a question. The bottom line is that everyone with the YouTube show did not get any confirmation from Forrest, and they're spinning whatever yarn they can. That is the dang truth. Because all that we're left with is our imagination and breadcrumbs. The crumbs that are sprinkled. Yep. but I know that it's not over. I know that there's more. I don't know that. And the book I know is not Jack's book and Jack's story. Jack is just a part of this. Like this, he was writing the story all along, and then Jack came along, and then Jack got written into that. Hey, K-Pro, have you seen that? Did you get the book yet? Did you get it early? Didn't you say something about that book is being already distributed? Like it's coming out early? We don't have to wait until June or May or whenever. Okay, Huli, are you guys talking about, did all of Toby's videos get marked private? Is that what we're talking about, you guys? Oh my God, I'm gonna get on my other computer here but now their name is something not AGK. Or just one of his videos got marked private. What's the name of their channel? It starts with an M.
Methods or something.
Yeah, M. Okay, I'm looking. LM. Messages and methods. Videos. Oh no, there's a lot of videos out there. I mean, it's not like it must be just certain one. Is it the one that Huli found from June 28th or June 27th, 2019? Huli, what have you done? It's okay because we played it twice, no matter what. If that is marked private, we got the good bits played last night.
Andy says it's a myth. That's not true.
Oh, okay.
She thinks.
Okay, never mind.
Hey, Meeps.
Hi, Meeps. I pre-ordered it. Won't get here until May 18th. Okay. Yeah. I get it then too. So that's what I understand. It comes out. You get it the day. I just checked and they are working. It's only one video. Okay. Whew.
I just had a thought. You were talking about why I must go. And in order for someone to have a solve and think that their solve is the right one, even, well, maybe
his is in Wyoming at least. So
yeah, maybe they think that Jack used their solve, but in order to have a solve that you think is the right one and it's not the same one that Jack had, wouldn't you have to have some level of think that this Jack's not the finder and he's some kind of conspiracy?
Yeah. It
would be like it would go hand in hand with a conspiracy. If you think you're the solver, then Jack can't be the solver.
Yeah, but is that what I didn't watch Why Must I Go's video? I tried to watch it, but I can't watch him. I can't. I watched a teeny little bit. He's just not my cup of tea. Not to say that. That's
I didn't
fine.
watch it either. I didn't watch it either, but he's not the only one. I mean, there's lots of them.
Right. Right. But what I'm saying is, so I don't know if that's his thing, thinking that he knows where it is. That's where Jack found it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how he presented it. I just thought what I got the gist of it from what is that he just said, okay, here's what I think, here's my solution in Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. I don't know if he's going, this is what it has to be, and this is where it was, and I would like to see Jack prove me wrong. But I don't know how he approached it.
But I guess if you think it's one way, then it can't be the other way. So you pretty much essentially, if you wanted people to believe you, would have to disprove the other person.
Mary Green says, look at HEK October 9th, 2018. Jack wondering about the place would be damaged if known and shared. Wondering. Wow, really, Mary Green. I'm gonna write that down. When did she say? October?
9th.
Is that the one that got taken down? The video that got marked private or whatever, or no? Okay. AGK, they should change their name back to AGK. They'd be silly if they didn't right now. You know, it's like they're getting the,
Yeah, I think they missed out on the best part of the after
I
the,
know.
the best part.
It's silly. I don't think Shelly could take it anymore. I think she was like,
No.
I can't do this. If you want to play with the crazy searcher community, then that's your bag because I'm out, you know? I'm not sure that's how the conversation went, but I'm
But
guessing.
Church of the Search should have never went away though. That was good. That was a good time.
Yeah, that could get fun. It was so, you know, and that's the best part too. You know, Toby was a solid. Like you knew he was gonna do that show. You know, he's gonna do it. It's gonna be there. He's gonna be on time. He's gonna, you know, whatever. He was somebody you can count on in the community, and just so that was it. It was more about being a part of the community than it was about anything else. And being a Forrest Fenn treasure hunter, it was more those Saturday night Church of the Search or whatever you want to call them. It was more of a you know, just like this, a crap shoot.
Yeah, it was an outlet, someplace for people to vent or
get together as being, you know, part of the community, or, you know, part of a group.
Group therapy.
This is group therapy. My beer is warm. I want to go get it. I don't want to finish that one. I want to go get a cold one. That sounds
I'll talk to the
princessy. You're gonna watch watch the room. I'm gonna run get it. You know what? It's already, what time is it? Almost 11. I have to walk through my sister's bedroom to go downstairs, and she has to be at work really early in the morning tomorrow. So this might be my last chance to jet downstairs. Okay. What's gonna happen? I'm going to go on mute. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go hook myself up. Okay.
Yep. So, it would be destroyed if 50 people visited in 1 year. Probably. I've been to some places where people are buried in different things and they leave things all over, and it's not really destroyed, but you don't know what people have in their minds anymore. One time he had an issue with the motorcycle, right? That was concerning. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Conspiracy theory on the coronavirus has been confirmed this week. Information on virus has been confirmed. 3 men died in copper mine 2012, which was coronavirus linked with bats. That's interesting. I would think they would have some other thing besides coronavirus, though. Overdo it again. So I'm not really used to talking to myself, but I'll give it a shot. Someone ask a question? Hey, Meeps, why don't you come on? This is how fake news starts. My mom told me today that some news show she watched, they have actual video footage by the Navy that was released of UFOs. And so now it's been confirmed by the government that UFOs are real. Did anyone else hear that? Greg Keller, I haven't seen your name in a while. Yeah, K-Pro, place and solution are linked. So I don't think, I think if you got the solution, you'd get the place. And I don't think that's what the hider or the finder really want.
Okay, I'm back.
Yay. Mary Green says she put a link to
Kind
the
of hard.
video.
Isn't it?
She put a link to the video somewhere.
The one that Mary Green was talking about.
Yeah.
I got a frosty glass and a fresh cold beer.
We were just talking about the aliens that they've confirmed aliens.
Oh, good.
So now we know for sure there are aliens of some sort.
Great. Yeah, CNN alien vid. Okay.
Have to check that out.
Thank God. We all need we all need something bigger than our puny little planet to worry about.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, when we're all worried about something together, then it's different. If the whole world had to worry about aliens, I think there would be less. You know, everyone needs to look up more often. Say that.
Well, I was talking to my mom today. She talked about this video about the aliens, and I'm like, well, they've been knowing that for forever. They just don't want to confirm it, you know, because wasn't it Admiral Byrd that went to South or Antarctica and had like a battle with some foes, and that was like in
That's
the
great.
40s or something, 40s or 50s. I'm like, well.
Oh man, that's great. We're really talking about aliens. Okay.
Space cowboys, yeah.
Okay, somebody's okay. What do we got here? So the rock shrugs. You can believe me as you choose. I'm just putting it out there. What's going on, Zozo? Meeps. It will be this year, David P. Don't forget to leave the chloroform in your other pants. Is that what? Oh, okay. So she sent the link to AGK's video, and what does he say? Okay. Oh my God, I'm not doing very good at reading the chat because I just scrolled and like in the middle of reading that, it's gone now. I'm sorry. I have to go to the bottom and look for my name, and I see Nomadic Man says, I mean, those ears and noses that we have are weird, not to mention the other appendages that we carry around. Yep, I'll drink to that.
More happening this week and months and more countermeasures. Measures.
What, in the alien world or in the Forrest Fenn world?
Maybe both.
I have to be quiet. I do have to be quiet. My sister was still awake, sitting there on the tablet, but I can be loud and annoying without realizing it, especially now that I've got new beer. Okay. The answers, says Zozo Rocks. Greg Keller.
This chat's being mysterious.
It is? Why? Are you in Germany? Dang. Oh, dang. Just realized. What did you realize, Capro? Waves his hand. I am the Jedi you are looking for. Zozo, are you the Jedi I've been searching for? Oh, man. Geo and Nut had a son. Who was that? Star Wars 2. Okay. If I come on, what question do you have?
Thoughts on Jack?
What is the big picture? I mean, yeah. Yeah, what do you think of Jack? Come on, David. You don't have to show your face, just like the rest of here we go. Double dog dare ya. um Elf is my Alan spirit. Oh, did you guys see Cynthia's little video or the short video? Well, we're sitting here blah 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 talking about our butts. Cynthia's riding her bike from West Yellowstone to Madison Junction and riding alongside buffaloes. It makes me feel like a giant lame loser. It's like, look at her, she's living it, she's out there. She crashed her bike because she got scared of the buffaloes that were charging after her. My God. And it's just like the scenery was, like, wow. Now that's, talk about putting money where your mouth is. And anyone that doesn't have respect for Cynthia, I just get so angry when people mess with her, because she really is the real thing. She is legit. And it's that was awesome, her on that bike. Yeah. Anyway, I don't have headphones. You don't have to have headphones. Me neither. Look. And it just are naked. And crashing. Cynthia crashed. The phone went flying. I don't know if she was by herself. It seemed like she was like, really, you're biking all by yourself through West Yellowstone? I mean, wow.
I heard there was a bear attack up there a couple days ago.
Oh no.
Somewhere near West Yellowstone, I think.
A person? A bear attacked a person?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Wow. What fun riding without vehicles in Yellowstone. I know, isn't this a rare opportunity that we're living through right now with the whole although it's changing, but just this magical short period of time. I watched a couple that are YouTubers that drive around in a van and camp all over the United States, and they happen to be in Yellowstone. They just showed a video, and they were worried because the campground they were going to inside of Yellowstone, and this was today, like they filmed last night, so this is real time, that they were worried they weren't going to be able to get a spot. It's first come, first serve into the campground. And when they got in there, there was only 2 other campers or people camping at this whole campground. And so they were just like in awe. They're like, look, we have Yellowstone to ourselves. We've got, they were showing the walks and they're, going to the, the classic spots, and they were the only people. They didn't see another person, and it's just like, wow, the experience Yellowstone in a way, in a truly rare experience in this day and age, so
yeah. Andy says it was at Baker's Hole.
What was that?
Isn't that where Forrest wanted you to go, Baker's Hole?
Well, and because oh, look at all the references to ovens and baking and pies and so it those subtle clues you could find in the book that
Yeah.
could be a subtle clue,
Oh,
a baker.
you were talking about the Rosetta Stone before, and
Mhm.
the Rosetta Stone had the same thing written in three different languages, right? It was written
Mhm.
3 times in 3 different languages, like Greek
Yes.
and I don't know,
Yes.
Egyptian or whatever it was. And to me, that means there's probably clues or hints in the book that show up 3 times. That's the way I took it. You know, like
Okay.
you were talking about pies and baking and all this. So he's probably three. If there's 3 references to something, that has to be a hint. Or like, how many times was he under a tree? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can play this little I'm gonna go share screen and see if I can find this. Okay, wait, hang on. Click, click, clicky. Okay, guys, can you see this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, she didn't give me a minute mark.
One in breaking news. That's the one from Capo's channel.
What will we do when the treasure is found? This is the video of okay, I'm gonna stop share because we would have to watch the whole video to see where the oops. I gotta go back to Mary's email.
I thought that was 4 separate videos, though.
Whoops. I'm losing it, you guys. It's my setup here is quite complicated. Here we go. There we go. Is Mary I will play it. Can somebody share the minute mark on that video? The minute mark is in the link. Okay. I looked, I didn't see it. Oops. Nope, she sent it to this email. Okay. 23:15. So it should just start right there, right? 248. Okay. There. Okay. I'm gonna go back to share screen and play this little. Are you there still, Lucky?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know if things were going way wrong or not. Okay, share. Here we go. There. Okay.
I can hear it. I think before you go to share screen, you have to go on the bottom and click those 2 boxes.
Oh, can you not hear it or can you not see it? Is it not working?
I can see it. I can't hear it, though.
Oh, okay. Let me see. What do you think I need to do?
Stop the share screen, and then when it comes up to where you can see like
Okay.
you can see the video, but you're not playing it yet, or you haven't selected it. There's like 2 boxes in the corner on the left at the bottom, and it's something about the audio.
Okay, let me go back to here.
You see like the white screen with all the little pictures. And in the bottom left-hand corner, there's 2 little boxes they have to check.
This is still playing. Shit. Oh, no, I did something totally wrong. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. This is one step too far. Okay, so all I see is share screen and I have Advanced share settings. Maybe that's it. Nope, that's not it. Share screen. Choose the video. Oh no, that's me. Oh, I can't forget it. I can't do it.
You have multiple, when you hit share screen, you should have like a white box and it has multiple, all your screens are open. And you have to pick the
Yeah.
one you want. Okay, well, down in the corner of that white box, there should be 2 little squares that you have to check for audio.
Okay, let me try again. Okay, there's the video. Okay, then I go back here, go choose share screen. Find it.
But don't you click on the
Oh, share sound.
yeah.
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's this.
48, send me your name and
There we
where you
go. I can hear it.
who to share this or who to attribute this to. If the location of the treasure is revealed after being found, do you think it will be overrun with damaged by searchers making pilgrimages there? And would it ruin the specialness of the spot? Jack from Philadelphia. I don't know, Jack. There's a part of me that would probably agree with you that people would want to see it. I imagine that if it was on public lands that are controlled like a national park, they would immediately fence off the areas to prevent that kind of damage that you're describing. But I think the pilgrimage idea is special. It would have to be in an area where it was accessible and where it was legal, right? So let's say they did find it in a national park, that Fenn put it in a national park, that it was discovered in a national park, that it's made public. I can assure you that the national park will then do everything it can to protect that from damage and destruction. The other thing is, I've got to imagine that everybody who's not everybody, but many people who were part of this because of the amount of emotional and physical and mental effort they've put into this, they may want to see it, and there is a possibility that damage could be done. But you'd like to think that that our better angels would take hold, and that we might go see it, but that we wouldn't do damage, that we'd treat it respectfully, because there's a lot of effort both on Fenn's part and our part has been put into it. So
maybe the finder will buy the land and put up a B&B and call it the Home of Brown or something.
And put the treasure in the middle of the thing
In a glass case?
Glass case that's protected so
Fennhaven.
nobody could see it.
Or a replica, have it redone in plastic.
Yeah.
Put that in the case. And I don't think I'd leave it sit out.
Hire a company to build a casino and then just make that the centerpiece of
Yeah, there you go.
the thrill of the chase casino.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I can see the slot machines now. No place for them.
That's just okay, guys. That's just a
Poker.
Eric Schmidt wants to know, are you preparing us for an announcement?
We are not. We are going to make an
Eventual,
announcement.
maybe
Yeah.
in the next 10 years?
Yeah, we are going to make an announcement tomorrow, and we're going to make an announcement next Wednesday, but neither of them have anything to do with us finding the treasure.
Isn't that interesting too? I don't know, because isn't he in our chat tonight? Isn't that the same guy? That was like right on after Jack. Okay. Hi, Indy. Nice to see you. I have to figure out, now I have to come back to, okay, there, I got it. How's it going? What are you up to tonight?
I did a fun date night, and I spoiled DJ because it's his birthday on Monday. So I got him an online concert, and I made spaghetti and garlic bread and really good micheladas. And now I'm here in my element.
Right?
My
And he's
happy
all-
place.
What concert did you
Right.
get him?
Falling in reverse.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was like I was really expecting it to be longer, but it was like only like I want to say 39 minutes.
Hmm.
But it was still cool.
I'm gonna read the chat. Greg Keller says Toby was so devastated it wasn't in New Mexico because he tried to parlay his intelligence background into why this logic was right about Fenn hiding it there. Yeah, he really did, which was, use what you know. It's just like I hear a background echo. Can you guys
That's
hear
you.
that?
I think it's you.
Is it me?
No, I think it's Susie.
How can it be
Oh.
me?
I don't know.
I'm like, I'm not the culprit.
Um,
At least I
cannot
hope I'm
be-
not the culprit.
it cannot be me.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh,
My
thanks.
volume's off.
Jeez.
You have YouTube up as well, Candy? Are we listening to it
Oh shit. Hold on.
in
Let me
another
see.
screen?
No, I have it on pause. I have the screen open, but I have it on pause.
Okay.
But you
Well,
can
maybe
mute
it
me
will
to
go
see
away.
if it's me.
Well, I don't hear it now. Do you guys
I
hear it
don't-
now?
No.
Okay.
Does that mean it was me?
I don't know.
I don't
It doesn't
know.
matter now.
I don't know.
Okay. And now but in the meantime, I clicked all over the place. Now I got to find the chat again. Here we go. Okay. Mary Green says, I think Jack was on the spot, then just hadn't found the chest. I think so too. Okay. Let's talk about what we just saw on Toby's screen. He was worried about why would Jack bring that up? Why would he call into HEK and say that? Say, do you think Forrest is worried about ruining the spot? That was the question, wasn't it, that we just heard? And Toby said, no, I don't think so. I think we would all be respectful. And, barrier would go up if it was in a state park or whatever, public lands, or if it wasn't public land, then the person would buy it and put up a B&B or something, he said, So it really does kind of speak to the type of land it's on then. Right? Or why do you think Jack was worried back in October of 2018? His question was, are they worried about the spot? So what does that say?
Indy.
What do you think, Indy?
I mean, based on my research, I think it's definitely sacred, and I think it's definitely something that we're never supposed to find out, but I kind of poked around. But in regards to Jack and Fenn, yeah, I think it's somewhere regular people aren't supposed to be.
Not Indian land though. Right?
No, not Indian land. More like holy relic land. Not
Something
Indian land though.
consecrated or something where somebody died maybe or something, but not a cemetery. We've already established that.
I'm going.
Well, that's the thing though. Fenn said not a cemetery, right? But he's a wordsmith. He's a master of words. If you look up the definition between cemetery and graveyard, a graveyard is in correlation with the church. A cemetery is not.
Okay, yeah, and I do think he chose his words very carefully as well. I'm going to read the chat here. It said, Mary Green says, I think Jack was on the spot and then just hadn't found the chest yet. Okay, and then where did I see? K-Pro says, Susie, that book goes into press before it is public released. so they can prepare and ask Dan to come on and discuss. It helps public relations. Okay. Am I way back in chat? I think seems like. Yes, please subscribe and get Susie to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, do it. You know, it would be great just because it would make it easier to go to be mobile and do these things. Mary
You
Green,
can
am
still
I
be
okay?
mobile and do Zoom. Just to let you know.
Yeah, but I can't go live on YouTube and without 1,000 subscribers and be mobile on Zoom through Zoom.
No, you
I
can.
tried it already. Nope, I tried it already and it says you do not have permission. And it's because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. Like once you
No,
reach 1,000,
that's
that
the
comes
same-
unlocked.
That's the same problem I have. Wait, hold on. Let me get on camera first. So what you do is you download Zoom for your phone, the Zoom app for your phone, you log in. And because you pay your subscription, you know, of every month, you go down to go live, like start a new thing, and then it shows like versions to go live. You go into that and you click YouTube. That's how I go live all the time on my phone. Cause I don't have 1,000 subscribers anymore. I have like 991 or something. So you go into Zoom on your phone and you go into version of go live on YouTube, and you can go live on YouTube via your phone, Zoom.
Okay. I did not know that. Because when I did that, tried on my phone, it said, yeah, it gave me an error saying I didn't have enough people to do it. They flat out just said boom, you know, so I didn't know there was a back door. I'll have to try it again. But
I learned that
since
in Vegas.
Delcon, who is sent me this sweet brand new laptop. So, and Atlantic Coast sent me money to buy a year's subscription to Zoom. And then Delcon sent me a laptop. So I mean, these guys hook me up. And that's so good. It's awesome. But it's still it would be you know, that 1,000 people would just give me extra, you know,
Yeah.
ability. Mhm. And I could go
It's-
live without going through Zoom then too, you know, just be by myself or whatever. But anyway,
Says
okay.
Jack was already pondering the very real possibility of not sharing the location. I agree. There's something that sets this place apart beyond
Yes.
the forest.
Yes, Christy Meeps. Yes. What could it be? It has to be Yellowstone or right? Or what? You know, it's just so. Yeah, Jack was already like, holy crap. I'm gonna find this. I need to figure out how to handle this. Way
Well,
back then.
if you go back to the 500 feet,
Code searcher.
many people have been within 500 feet. It has to be close to something that people are
Exactly. It still has to be something that's
people are traveling to see, or people are traveling
and
past.
something that you would stand in front of and take a photo and send it to Forrest and go, look at me now. Here I am. I'm on the chase and this is where it
Like
brought
a
me.
waterfall.
Like a waterfall.
Well, I
Exactly like a
saw
waterfall.
I saw a video. I don't know if it was something on GK or something brought up that said that Forrest wanted to know why people were so obsessed with waterfalls.
That's because that's reverse psychology. When you get too close to something, you make people believe that there's like nothing behind it. So when people kept talking about waterfalls, he was saying, why are people so hung up on waterfalls? And then he says, like, right after, you can't start in the middle of the poem, and he's talking about the blaze.
But we talked the other night about some statement that he made that pretty much said, do not go searching at the bottom of a waterfall. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I forget where we got that from.
I'm sad Terry Scant doesn't exist anymore. It was such
Yeah,
a great
like he
TV
ruled
source.
out it being behind a waterfall or under a waterfall, but he didn't rule out a waterfall being a landmark, you know?
Right. because that would be kind of dangerous, I think. Slippery.
Terribly dangerous.
Gotta
And
get
an
Gallatin on
80-year-old
here.
man is not gonna wrangle a 42-pound box of gold behind a waterfall. I mean, like,
No,
the logistics don't.
I think Gallatin
But-
was the one I was talking to about that. She knows.
Oh
But,
yeah, because she got the book on it.
But I can't
The book on
imagine a
waterfalls.
place where a waterfall would be with a clearing, that same description of, finding some sort of tipped over rock, or is that the blaze? If you turn in that story from My War for Me into, his waterfall story from My War for Me into a real life scenario of using landmarks. Maybe a landmark is maybe the blaze of rock with an inscription because of the stone grave marker by a waterfall. So maybe this is a waterfall, and a stone with some sort of graffiti. Maybe we are looking for graffiti. Maybe everybody's hates graffiti and blah, maybe the blaze was graffiti and it was clean. Somebody actually cleaned the graffiti off the rocks.
Right.
That's a twist.
Yeah,
don't
My
know
War
how-
for Me, he was at the top of the waterfall, right? So if it was anywhere near a waterfall, it would have to be somewhere near the top.
Or I didn't picture that. But yeah, now that you say it, it would make sense, but I don't necessarily think, I don't know. Delcon says, how can it be 42-pound box if half the stuff was missing? What do you mean? Or you don't think that was 42 pounds worth that we saw him show us? Well, 20 pounds of it was the box. So
Yeah, I think that's a little bit overthinking. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't think half the stuff was missing. I think all the jewels, the only thing that was like blatantly missing and acknowledged as missing is the emerald ring.
Yeah, and you said that ring was found with a metal detector, but then
It says it right in the story.
okay,
It's right in
but
it says it right in Too Far to Walk.
then it can't have been on that ship, Candy.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
it was. No, that
The
emerald
emerald
ring was
ring.
not on a ship. It was found with a metal detector. It says it right in the story. I started filling the chest with gold coins, mostly old American eagles and double eagles, along with placer nuggets from Alaska. 2 weighing more than a pound each. So if there's 2 of them with there's 2 pounds right there in 2 of the nuggets.
Mhm.
We've got 20 pounds to go.
Mhm.
And pre-Columbian gold animal figures, ancient Chinese carved from jade. And then here, but among them are a Spanish 17th century gold ring with a large emerald that was found with a metal detector, and an antique lady's gold dragon coat bracelet that contained 254 rubies, 6 emeralds, 2 salon sapphires, and numerous small diamonds. So all the rubies and emeralds and sapphires and diamonds that were in the chest were all in that one dragon bracelet. It wasn't like Goonie treasure when you picture just loose stones.
Oh,
hundreds of
Susie,
loose
Adam's
stones.
trying to get in.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
He said knock knock. I was like, oh, people do that to me all the time.
Okay, and so
Huli says
go ahead.
Cherry Scan electronic version is on Amazon and you can buy it for $6.99.
oh, That's nice. Good for them. Whoever
what's
is
on
in charge of
Amazon?
it.
Terry scanned electronic version.
Oh,
The database. That's great. Whatever. That's
that
for
is
$7.
cool.
But it says, okay, yeah. So it says the 7th century gold ring that was found with a metal detector. That's all it says about it. It doesn't say where it was found with a metal detector. It just says
Good evening, ladies.
good evening,
Hey.
Adam. How are you
Hi, Adam.
tonight?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you, Susie?
Good. Fine.
Having fun?
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, playing along.
Thanks for having me.
What are your thoughts?
What are we talking about?
Well, we were just talking about that the gold
video.
or the only thing that's missing that we know that Jack and Forrest both acknowledge that is not in the chest, that's missing mysteriously, is the emerald ring, the emerald and gold ring that I just read about, or described in The Thrill of the Chase. That ring is not in the chest.
Didn't he forget to put the frog in the chest as well?
Yeah,
That's what
and
he
said, "Oh,
claims.
whoops, here's the frog." Dug it out of his.
How
What?
can you forget to put that in?
It wasn't. I
Especially-
don't think it was. It wasn't the frog that the Capro wants. It was some other smaller version.
The one on the other one, the other frog was on a necklace, like
Yeah,
so.
on a necklace. I
But the
thought.
necklace was in there. So I mean, I think the frog that, and yeah, how could it be left out? And I think it's the frog he's talking about is the one that is on the photo. Oops. I think it's that gold frog that was missing, that Forrest coughed up out of his. Oh, whoops, by the way. But I can see that one being misplaced, because what if it was a part of the photo shoot, to get the photos
Do
for
we-
the book?
Do we know if he gave Jack the frog after he found the chest?
I believe so.
It was the other frog, but for the record, I will take any of them. Gabriel said. No kidding. Good evening. Are you leaving us, Nomad? Have a good evening. Nice to see ya. Chrissy Meets. Nice, Larry. I'm fond of Amy. Amy hit the atmosphere. Oh, okay. It was the other frog. Okay. Susie, no, that one was in there. The neck, I don't know how to say that, was the one missing. Oh, the necklace one was missing. Oh. I see. Meeps, I am recovering. Galaxy. He said there was no mistakes because he didn't want to have any regrets. Illinois has that frog.
Don't you think it's weird how Forrest spent so long preparing the chest, putting things in that meant a lot to him? Isn't it weird that he forgot to put something in?
Yeah, a little bit too weird,
Or
especially
almost
when,
unbelievable.
yeah, especially when written in detail about in the book. Like here you're describing.
Exactly.
We don't get to see a picture of it. We never got to see it. The only picture of it is on Peggy's hand in that photo in the last chapter, or not the last chapter, but you know what I'm saying, right here. She's wearing it in this photo, the gold or the emerald ring.
Maybe she still has it.
Maybe she took it out and said, "What? You can't get mine. You can't be throwing that in the chest. What are you doing? You gave that to me."
I think it's believable that maybe when it came down to it, he couldn't bear part with it and decided to keep it.
Or maybe he didn't want to take it away from her.
Mm.
I could see that happening.
or put that, oh, K-Pro has a good point, or put that scissors in by accident, unless the scissors were needed to conceal it. Adam?
No
Yeah,
way.
like-
No way was anything put in by accident. That's absurd.
I know, isn't it? Oh,
Totally.
whoops, I forgot the scissors and like, oh,
Where did I put those scissors? Oh crap! I left them in the chest.
Yeah,
that's
you
something
don't plan
you
this-
don't want to hear. You don't want to hear your heart surgeon say.
Yeah.
unless it was so nilly-willy when finally he decided to, like, okay, he had to go up to Cody, Wyoming for whatever function, and thought, oh, okay, you know what, I'm doing it. And at that time it was the actual loading of it, packing it was rushed. I mean, really?
No.
No, I know.
Those
And
scissors, they were in there for a reason, definitely.
yeah, and
What
it does,
reason? I
but
don't
what
know.
reason?
Maybe to cut the bags open. I don't know.
I don't know. And they were just those like little kid scissors looking things, right? I mean, they didn't look like real, they look small, crafty.
Maybe
Like
he
noise.
used maybe he used those to cut his hair.
Oh, right.
Little 3 hair follicles.
Because they look
Yeah,
like
but then he had to seal it in wax after that. Didn't he put the hair in the jar,
You have,
olive jar?
you have to wonder what Jack thought when he opened that lid and he saw all the gold, and on top was a rusty pair of scissors.
And then a key stuck to a go. I know. What?
I bet he was like, "What the hell?"
You're supposed to be in awe. He said you're gonna flip that lid open and laugh. But why? Why? What was the, I think we get to, I don't know. I hope we get to see that moment or know that moment or hear about that moment.
I think by Jack calling in and asking questions about the spot kind of insinuates that he has some like reservations about what to do when he got there, or how should he, what should he do if he found it? You know what I'm saying? Like, should I take it? Should I leave it? Should I call? What should I do? He seems like he's kind of like a worrisome kind of person.
Yeah, I think he does. He seemed like, oh, like, holy crap. Like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this?
Speaking of
If he had an idea in October of 18 that he was in the right spot, he must have been thinking a lot about, if I find it, what do I do? And should I tell anyone or should I not?
Yeah, I think it was I think it was interesting that he showed concern for the location way back in 2018 or whenever it was.
Interesting. Gidelkan says, has anyone heard that Zoe was in Cody recently? And then K-Pro answers, Gidelkan, what have you heard? And she says back, he says back, I'm just trying to confirm something. I will be in Cody in about 3 weeks. We each have a piece at times, and it doesn't mean much until we put them together. Yeah, because you would think Forrest, no matter what, would still have more things that he would like to have given the Cody Museum, or there's got to be more connections, left. But that's interesting. Why Gidelkan? Why do you think that's anything? K-Bro says, Adam, we should really analyze that. This makes it very unique. I think more than a general area that there is a there. What does that mean?
That kind of blows a GPS solve out. She's thinking it's more of a touristy place, but that would explain why he said, "I can't believe there was no one around when I put it there," right? Because he was expecting more people to be around and there wasn't.
Right. It's a spot that it doesn't
Didn't
seem like it's a really remote, like it's going to be a really remote spot,
there was
even though
no
it's not on a human trail. What's that?
yeah, I was going to say there was no human trails around, was there? Just animal trails. So it can't
Game trail.
be.
But it could be 200 feet or 500 feet from where
A
humans.
human trail?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is in close proximity?
Plus, he said it was isolated also. So it's an isolated, popular place. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, and he said that in K-Pro's interview for her. He said, he kind of went him-hawed, kind of like defined what isolated means, or define what, he's more like, he had the details, the details mattered and the words he chose.
He talks about being barefoot a lot. And I think that might
Black
have
feet?
barefoot, like without his shoes. So
Yeah.
I was maybe instead of bear, like BARE, maybe he's referring to bear like a bear.
They are. Oh, and I always
Like-
thought, what happens when you're barefoot all the time? You get black feet, you're bare. So it's like, I always kind of thought that was some insinuation to Blackfeet Indian tribe, but
Mhm.
who knows? Those are the things we need to know that Jack could easily answer for us, by the way, and why couldn't he answer some things like that would not give away everything, Okay, K-Pro says maybe like Soldier Stone. I know not in the right state. Soldier Stone is in Colorado. But an
Soldier Stone
exact
is myself.
example of not touristy and off trail, but very popular to a group and could be damaged.
Yeah, and he talks
That
about
is-
wars a lot. So it could
I
be
mentioned Soldier Stone.
real.
Or a Vietnam Memorial, they're everywhere. And that would make I
No,
don't
Soldier
know.
Stone is completely different, and it's
Right.
specifically made for no one to find unless you know what
Right.
it is.
right. And
I've been
it's
there.
remote on purpose and all that, right?
But Soldier Stone's not the right elevation. I've been there, but it is in the Carson National Forest, and it's on the border of Colorado and New Mexico.
Right.
Don't tell me it was Soldier Stone. I'll cry because I was there.
It's
I was
not.
literally in the flowers, and I found
No.
the little stone that said, a lonely French guy.
Yeah. Well, he talks a lot about plane crashes too, though. So I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with the Air Force, maybe.
Mary Green says Forrest never answered me about the fish guide and being barefoot. He showed us a pair of shoes with holes in them. Yep. That type of place, not Soldier Stone, wrong place. Right. That type of place. You're just using that as an example of something that's not touristy, but it is. You would take a picture there if you went there for a purpose and knew what, or
What
something
was the
similar.
conversation we were having last night about him saying something about clawing our way out? Or I think it was Gallatin or somebody was talking about when he was rescued and they were pulling him up. They had to claw their way out. So that's another bear reference, right? Claw, bear, or some kind of animal.
Right. in the teeth of the Rockies. I mean, he used that as an analogy.
So something with teeth, something with claws, and something with probably bare feet, which would be a bear, wouldn't it? Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, is bear in the name of something, or
Could be.
why is where Forrest wanted to die and where Worm Hunter's Halt not being combined to find a location more? Yeah, because if that's where Jack started with where Forrest wanted to die. It sounds like that's where he started. He figured that out and then figured out where Worm Hunter's Halt, you know?
Yeah, that's what I believe. I believe that Jack worked out the ending and back engineered it.
Remember when he did the scrapbook with the bears at the museum in Denver, I think it was? That has to have some kind of relevance, because isn't that where he wanted to, he said that they would find his car there or something?
Yeah, at the Denver Museum of Natural History or something like that.
Which is where the statue is with the bear, the mother bear.
But how does that get us to Wyoming?
I don't know. I think you're looking for something in reference to a bear, maybe.
Right. It could be it could be Bear Creek. It could be Bear, anything.
But like we said, it's probably not wilderness like. It's probably somewhere near where people would take a picture of something.
Right. And something that Jack would be worried about. I mean, that was really his thing. Before he found the treasure, he found the place and went, do you think Forrest is worried about it being damaged?
You know what, though, Susie? If Forrest was that concerned about it being damaged, why would he have made it the location of a
Exactly.
treasure
Because
hunt?
Forrest flat out, somebody asked him, and he said, and he's like, nope, I'm not worried about that. He said he wasn't worried about it, and so
Yeah.
every time, and so why is Jack worried about it when Forrest isn't? Wasn't.
I thought he said though he would
Fuck.
leave that to the finder, right? He'd leave that up to the finder.
Yeah, but he knew there was a possibility that once it's released, a lot of people will go there. He knew that was a possibility, so he must have been okay with it.
Yes, I agree,
So-
Adam.
Yeah, so I don't get why Jack's so concerned, because Forrest clearly wasn't. Unless
Right.
Jack wants to keep it for himself, of course.
I think he's a worrywart.
Mary Green says there is a 4-bear trail near Cody. See, it could be something like there could be a sign that says 4-bear trail, and that's where you park your car, at the 4-bear sign, or whatever.
Maybe.
I think the first place you go has to be. Do you think the first place you go is the parking lot? Or do you think you drive to the first clue and then drive to the second clue because it's too far to walk? Or do you think the whole thing leads you to one parking spot and then from there you do the clues?
I think you have to drive. You have to begin it where Warm Water's Halt and take it in the canyon down. Too far to walk, so you have obviously got to drive or ride something.
And so put in below the home of Brown is the parking lot.
He talks about bicycles a lot too, so maybe it's a bicycle thing. You have to go down a bicycle
He
path.
only bicycled to the fire hole.
I
Would
think
he
out
do
of
that
all-
at 80 years old with uh 20, 40
Yes.
pound chest.
Yes, you would.
But I thought he bicycled when he took his coach Consi on the bike. Didn't he bike then too?
I think out of all the clues,
And then he threw his
Not-
bike. He wants to throw his bike in the creek or something.
not far but too far to walk is the one that gets me the most. I want to know the answer to that so bad. What does that mean? Not far but too far to walk. And I don't think you have to get in your car. Because if you've got in your car and gone to Warm Waters Hole and then took it in the canyon down, your car's back at the car park, isn't it? So you can't jump in your car and then drive too far to walk. No, I think you arrive at the spot, the beginning, where warm water holds, and then I believe on foot you can find it. But I don't know what he means
He
by.
said
I don't know what
he
he means
said-
by too far to walk.
he said in the Caprio interview when they said where do you begin or whatever, he said you begin by getting in your car and driving
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
first clue. That's what he said. Begin by getting in your car and driving to the first clue.
yeah, but I think
Well,
once
Jack-
you get, I think once you get out your car, you can then find it on foot in a matter of hours.
So what's
I
the
think-
deal with all these bicycle stories then?
I think from there, the part from there, it's no place for me to make. I think that's where your boots on the ground, and that's where you have to cross. Because remember, Jack said warm water was warm, but then he had to cross. How else would he get cold in the summertime?
Yeah, we talked about that last night, and Gallatin said that she doesn't think it's a deep water crossing. She thinks it's very shallow
Yeah,
because
it's a
it's
ford.
too dangerous. Right, it's a ford, so it'd be too dangerous for a child. So it would have to be someplace with shallow.
He's not biking. Gabriel just said, "Oh my God, no, Susie, he would not bike to the fire hole."
Can
Cynthia
you
just did it, but it was very, very tough. Yeah,
Can you
Forrest is
imagine?
not gonna.
Can you
Forrest is
imagine
not-
getting that chest and get on a bicycle and riding down?
Well, I don't imagine walking would be very easy either. If it's too far to walk, why would you leave your car and get out your car and walk if you're carrying a 42-pound thing? If it's too far to walk without it, you can't
Maybe
walk.
too far to walk doesn't mean too far to
True.
walk. Maybe too
Yeah.
far to walk means
Could be a
Something.
river,
I think it was
could
the
be-
old freight road. Fenn told me to take that road when I was out looking in 2019.
a
Like a
You know
bicycle
that
is a
that
horse.
one he
Look
talks
it up
about
in the
in
Urban
River Bathing is
Dictionary.
Best.
It bugs me though, because too far to walk for me might be different to too far to walk for Forrest or someone else. Everyone's got a different too far to walk. So yeah, I can't get behind
And-
that.
and that's
carrying,
another thing.
carrying 42 pounds or 20 pounds. That's tough.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just made me think of something when the time or distance used to be by the Native Americans was measured in sleeps, like the town of 10 sleeps in Wyoming. It's like the distance, how many sleeps does it take you to get from one point to another? And so it's described as, a distance is described as how many days. I don't know why I just thought of that, but I don't know. Adam Capro says we should talk offline on that one. I have thoughts.
And I want to hear them. We'll definitely do that.
Little engine that could. Oh, hi, little engine that could.
It's Tyler.
I need to bed.
Hey,
Oh,
Tyler.
Tyler.
Hey, buddy.
Going to sleep before I drive tomorrow to go pick up my date. Oh, good for you. Have fun.
Yeah, he's got a
honey.
date, hasn't he? Yeah. Hope it goes well, matey.
A car is a whip in the Urban Dictionary. Watch me whip.
Well, Matitsi translates to God, it was something weird. It was back then. I literally thought it was the answer to not far but too far to walk. If you look up It's like near, not far, I think is the translation.
To what?
For Matizzi. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. It's been
Oh.
years since I looked up the translation, but the name Matizzi translates to something that's like near, not far. Matizzi,
Matizzi solves.
Wyoming name, meaning. It's been years since I ever looked at this. Measured distance near and far. That's what it translates to.
Wow.
Telling you, I know
Doesn't
this
that
shit from
seem
years
like-
ago.
That seems like a great rabbit hole. That's an exciting idea, you know?
Yeah, it was a dangerous rabbit hole. I'm telling you, don't do it because it's like in Cody right there. So it's like there's Cody Yellowstone, and Matizzi is one of the oldest settlements for Cody Yellowstone, and it literally translates to measured distance near and far. So yeah, I had fun with that one for a while. Especially because what was it where when Fenn was at the gas station and he got those nails, it was in Matizzi.
Oh, okay.
So there's like all the stuff talks about Matizzi. And then when I found the translation of Matizzi, I was just like, oh, it's here. And I remember I was looking into this old ghost town, and it turns out it was the place where a famous cowboy went. I forgot which one it was. It wasn't, God, who was it?
Billy the Kid?
It may
Or
have been
somebody
Billy the
like that.
Kid. It was where they tied the ropes to the bars in the prison to a horse, and then they like broke someone out of prison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's somewhere over by Matizzi area, and they're known for their chocolate. It's been like, I kid you not, like 5 or 6 years since I looked into this, but yeah, it was like in the Matizzi area. Because you know how Kalizers talks about, Matizzi, pitchfork, realm of horn in the poem, the anagram.
Okay.
So Matizzi, if you get like Matizzi's measured distance near and far, and then there's the story about the outlaw, and then the sheriff that hung the guy with the rope because he respected him or something. You get this little town known for chocolate, which is nearby Cody for the Matizzi area. I can't remember the name of the place.
Pitchfork Realm of Horn.
Yeah, because there's a ranch called the Pitchfork Ranch, and I can't remember if it was Kalizers that figured it out or someone. They figured out a stanza in the poem, translate or anagram to Matizzi Pitchfork Realm of Horn.
Ow.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
That chocolate made me think of the is it in $17 a square inch or in 80, where Eric Sloan says that he would use a chocolate bar for the color brown paint. He did a painting that in chocolate, actual chocolate. So that was a rabbit hole for me for a while too, because across from Forrest's old gallery, there's a chocolate store that sells just chocolate across from Forrest's old gallery. And then I found that chocolate painting that Eric said he painted a whole painting with the chocolate bar.
Oh, I found it. Yeah, it is the town of Matizzi. Matizzi's known for their chocolate because they have a chocolate pub crawl in Matizzi, Wyoming. So Matizzi's chocolatiers happy hour truffles. So in this little town of Matizzi, you can actually go on a chocolate pub crawl.
That's different.
I'm in.
Christy Meep
Is
says
that the Homer Brown?
Amelia Earhart had a place out there, of course. The girl in brown who walked alone.
That's a wonderful who ES. He was on a couple weeks ago with me, and he has a whole wonderful solve idea about that whole area and Amelia Earhart's cabin area. Not necessarily that it wasn't at the cabin or anything like that, but some, using that
Well,
as a part of his.
Earhart had a plane crash too, right? I mean, Earhart.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
disappeared.
So that would fit with everything.
She meets fun fact remnants of her house are at the Wood River. Oh, is that
Well,
who we're
that-
talking about still?
Weird church is located over here too.
Is there some kind of marker there, some kind of landmark or some kind of tourist spot type thing?
I'm trying to read the chat. That's what's wrong here.
What's the river that goes through Matitsi?
It's the Wood River.
The Wood River. Well, there you go. There's a reference to wood.
If you're braving in the wood.
I'm pretty sure it's the Wood River. I might be wrong. It might be the Shoshone. Shit, I can't remember.
No, they're
It's been
talking
so
about
long.
somebody else in chat said something about Wood River already. I can't find it now. Amelia Earhart had a place out of there, of course. A girl in brown who walked alone. Yeah. Juna, if you want to go to heaven, you must pass the gates and leave your worldly possessions behind. Peter is the guard at the gate. Thanks, panel, and to the room. Peace and light to all. You be safe. Good night, Zozo Rocks. Gadelkin bought chocolate there. Okay.
I want chocolate now. I made chocolate mocha coffee. Does that count?
That sounds good. Brown's Campground is what I always imagine people going past. Wow, Huli.
Is that in
Village and a
Matitsi?
Halt is also known as a
It's
camp.
on Wood River in Matitsi.
Mhm.
No, I don't know. I'm making that up, but I'm assuming.
Now Matitsi's what, not far from Cody, huh?
And Christy
Yeah.
Meeks also brings up the point that Amelia Earhart also bought Eric Sloan's first cloud painting. Mhm.
Yeah, it's all starting to fit together, isn't it?
It sounds really awesome.
Good luck with that. I tried that years ago. I will just go crazy.
Right. Is that any
You'll go
different?
crazy just like ghost freaking jaguar deity from last night. I'm
I
gonna
don't
take
know,
that
seems
one
so.
and lock it up, never look at it again. Yeah, a lot of people had
Christy
Home of
Meeks, Eric
Brown as
Sloan.
her cabin. There was like, I forgot what part of it, but Amelia Earhart had a cabin that she was getting built, and then I think she went on her flight before it ever got to be finished.
Wasn't Hemingway, didn't he live around there too?
Yeah, Wyoming.
No, something about him and Earhart together.
Well, the book Flywater, the intro is written by Hemingway's son, and Fenn loved that
Yeah.
book.
Ooh, interesting. And these are the things. And these are the things that, that Jack could rule in and rule out without telling us stuff, Like, don't you think? Can you just say, Amelia Earhart, yeah, go look into that more. Or Amelia Earhart, you're barking up the wrong tree, or something like that.
Is
Keep
there a
nudging us forward. Or
Where are we with Jack and AJK? I mean, how many videos have we got now with him in it? last account was, I think 4 was the last time I looked, or 5.
Well, that one that Mary just sent us, or that one was a text message that Toby read out loud, from
What do you
Jack.
say?
Yeah.
What do you say? He was asking about the what do you think Forrest is worried about the special
Oh, that
place
one.
being damaged
Yeah.
when it's found, the place that's found, is he worried about, damaging the special place? And then that was in October 9th of 2018. I just wrote that down. I know about that one, and then I know the time, and then 2 more.
Doesn't that mean then that the place itself is the blaze? Because he said the blaze was damaged, right? So then why would he call in and ask if Fenn would be worried about the place getting damaged if it weren't for the place being the blaze? Therefore,
He found
couldn't
the
the blaze
place,
be the
but it
home of
was
Brown?
damaged, right? I don't know. Good question, Indy.
I always
No, I
asked Fenn once. I was like, I think the home of Brown is the blaze.
Yeah, but then he
And
said
then he
past it,
wrote
it was
back to
6
me
feet.
and he's like, I can't respond to you about this, right? And I was like, okay.
But if it was 6 feet away from it, then he would know he couldn't be 6 feet away from the home
Right.
of
Yeah. And that doesn't make, okay, you're right. That doesn't make sense that would,
It's got to be a landmark.
Well, we know that he did a whole story on Amelia Earhart and what's that other guy's name? Robin Olds. They were both pilots.
Yeah, that pilot, Robin. Yeah.
Robin Olds was his hero.
Mhm.
Amelia
Fighter
Earhart
pilot.
was his female version of the.
And
hero.
Eric Sloan was that got to fly, or, sell a painting to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He idolized pilots. Let's put it that way.
Good night, Nomadic Madman. Thanks for coming in and joining us tonight. It's nice seeing ya.
My head hurts.
Mitch says Braven in the Wood works with Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, I've heard her talked about a lot, actually. Various people have mentioned her in the past. It's a popular one.
Mm-hmm.
Moisturize says, wasn't the Matiti Spanish horse buried standing up? I don't know.
I'm just curious to know where Ashton Kutcher searched when he was looking for the treasure.
Ask Barb.
Probably somewhere near Jackson Hole.
Well,
What,
because
the
I know he's
the
very
actor?
smart, like very smart.
You mean the actor?
Yeah,
I'm too loud.
Ben told me that once, and I was just sitting there and I was laughing so hard I couldn't even contain it. I was just like imagining him out there.
Remember when they found the conquistador in the back of the truck?
Yeah, that's Matiti.
That was a Matiti too, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, there's so many things pointing that way.
Don't do it. Don't you do it. I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. Don't get sucked down that rabbit hole.
Is that in Wyoming or no?
Yeah, it's in Wyoming.
Robin
okay.
Olds died in Steamboat Springs. Just saying. Really, David? Because Steamboat Springs, that's a ship that will never come in. A steamboat that isn't really a boat, is a ship that will never come in. And that's what that happiness is, the pot, 4 cards and a joker. That's called waiting for ships that never come in. That name of the poem song.
Chrissy says Jack said the solve is a journey to get to the special spot through the poem. I thought that was huge, but probably obvious. Yeah, he said, like, someone asked him once in an email if there was barbed wire, in the area. And Jack said no, and he wouldn't think so unless the poem itself described it. And so he's basically saying, like, the poem itself describes what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to see, because you're supposed to see all of this in Fenn's, point of view.
Right. So it should be like, okay, at this landmark, go north at this and go north for this far. And then once you get that far, you will see this landmark. From there,
If
it's
only
no
it was
place
that,
for them, you know.
if only it was that easy.
I think it really is. It's just figuring the
I mean, it could be possible that like Machitsi's not far, but too far to walk, and it'll take you into the area of Cody. Like it takes you to Yellowstone, basically.
okay. Thanks. That is me. No ship coming in. Me either, David. Okay, you guys, it's midnight and I've been on for 3 hours, and so I think it's time to call it a night.
But it's Friday.
But I'm okay, but I only have this much beer left, and I'm now banned. Now my sister's sleeping and I need to be quiet, and I can't go back downstairs.
Candy,
So
you'll
I
have to
have
go
to call
live.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody else go on live so I could get in my jammies and get in here and watch you guys listen more. But this is so
Just go
fun, and
live, so-
I really appreciate you guys coming on and joining me tonight, and everybody that stopped in and chat. Thank you for all coming on, because I can never get enough of this, and obviously you guys can't either, right?
All
But,
right, thank you, Susie.
Yes, and thank you. Have a good night. I'm gonna push buttons, and I will be seeing you all next week. Wait, I don't know how to stop the. Okay, got it. Good night,
Galaxy
all.
says